What up, Saw Dogs? Hey, so making a mantle here. It's a red oak mantle. It's about 8 foot, 9 foot long. Um, we'll rough cut it. Then I'm going to hand hew it for a friend of mine for a mantle for his basement. Um, I'm going through a different series of how to mill by yourself. So right here, I'm just checking my length, and I want to square it off right here before I take another slice off. So I'm going to square it off here, and then I'm going to uh, pull all this bark off, and then I'm going to set my ladder. I'll set my ladder on top, and I'll show you how I set my ladder so that it'll give me a level cut, because I want to come in here and level cut this here. Um, and this is the small end. I've got the large end up here so that I'm going downhill with the saw. Makes it a little easier with the weight of the saw. So I'm going to square it off here just in just a minute. Then I'm going to pull this bark off, and you guys can watch that. It's not that exciting, but and then I'm going to set up I have a new Grandberg winch to help me, and it'll get attached here, and then there'll be a pulley system that goes to a winch on my Grandberg, and the Grandberg, and it'll help me pull the saw through, and I'll show you how I mill my own slabs. Then I take these, I put them in the kiln, and I'll kiln dry my own slabs 5-6 weeks, depending on what the situation, how much moisture was in them. And I'll check the ends, so I'll paint the ends, make sure that to help from a little bit of checking. But most of the time, wood's gonna check whether you put paint on the end of it or not. It can help a little, but most of the time when I'm milling something like this, I'm coming in a couple inches, so the check may only be an inch deep, but I'm coming in a foot, so it really doesn't matter at that point. So let's fire up the chainsaw and do some cutting, because it's not too bad out right now. So. So, we need a counterpoint. Oh, There we go, the counterpoint. I have a a jack here because how do you move a 3-ton log or a ton log by yourself with a jack, with a hoist, whatever you got. Drag it with a car. I've drug it with my truck before to move it around. Friend of mine will come over with his Kubota and he'll help me move some stuff around my yard if I have to sometimes. But let's finish this up and then we'll get to cleaning the stuff, cleaning the bark. Okay, so cut the end off here. So now we're gonna take some bark off. I'm gonna look for my course, my draw knife. Used to have my grandfather's draw knife, but I broke it last time. Actually I broke it on this log. I broke it on the beginning of me messing with this log. So I'm gonna put a wedge under that because when I mill, I don't want it moving at all. Different wedges, different sizes for different purposes. This way she won't move on me. My dog is asking me to throw the ball for her. I will throw the ball for her. This one's been in my yard for, let's see, probably 2 years. And I've been messing with it, taking some pieces off to do some projects. This red oak, it's got like the spaghetti bark on it. Super strong. This stuff, when you're doing the sides, you can literally hit the sides with a wire brush and it'll do nothing. It'll just laugh at the wire brush. So some red oak can be very hard. Up into the hardness scale of like walnut, and into some really hard exotics. It all depends on the tree. It's nice when it comes off sheets like that. And then periodically I'll sharpen my draw knife. Here I just want to clean it up enough so that when I put my ladder on, I can get a nice flat spot to put my ladder on, then I'll show you how I attach my ladder with plumbing straps, and then we'll go from there. Do the plumbing straps, then I'll be able to show you the Grandberg right down the middle. I think there's a video of this earlier of me taking the one side off. But this kind of project takes me a while on myself. So, and it all depends on the day and the heat. And today, the heat dissipated a little, so I was able to get out here, and this thing's been sitting. Because of the rain, it's been sitting so much, I haven't been able to get out here and get to it. So, awesome. So now we got it cleaned off. Now we're going to set our regular aluminum ladder. Nothing special. Okay? I just took it apart. I have enough length here to go over the edge and go over the edge here. Now I'm going to take my wedges. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to strap. I'm going to strap my ladder down so that there's no movement. When I put the Grandberg on, it'll be set for a flush level cut that will go from the top all the way to the bottom, and it'll keep my, if I want to take, I'm probably going to take about 2.5 inches off the top to create my mantle. Then I'll be flipping it over and hand hewing it, very similar to kind of what I just did with removing the bark. Hand hewing is where you take a draw knife and you're constantly hand working the wood, old school style, to create what you want. So here, I'll be back. This is just another part of the series, but we've got this set up. I'm gonna, I think I show you how to strap it down in the next one. But I'll go over it I'll go over it in another one also, and show you how to break this down. I have a new idea that I'm going to build a rail system, welded rail system across here, two cross beams, and then a platform, and then I'll be able to move the wood up and down, and the Grandberg up and down, and the shelf up and down, to give me multiple, or to give me every type of cut that I could possibly want. And at this point, I won't have to be pushing it downhill, or when you're doing it by yourself. Make it a little safer for me. I just have to get around to welding it. I think I have the steel here somewhere. But I have to get around to engineering it, drawing it up, and then cutting the metal, welding it, and getting it to where I want it to. Because I want it to be removable, break down, and I want to be able to take it to somebody's yard with me. So when there's a tree down on their farm, that I can go grab it. If they don't want it, and they're like, hey, you can have all this free wood if you just come cut it. I show up, you know, with my Grandberg. I cut slabs, and I take it home with me and put it in my kiln, and that's material for me to work with to make all kinds of things. So thanks for hanging out with me and watching this. I'll be back for the next part of the series. Okay, have a good day, Saw Dogs. Stay out of trouble.